welcome to NFL Week
17.
I'm your host, Richard Reed, along with my two co-hosts. I'll let you introduce yourselves.
No, it's odd. I don't know that guy.
Rob.
He's Rob. And we're coming to you live in HD. Yeah.
Live. They'll be watching it after it's put on there. It's not live.
God dang it.
It's live recorded.
It's live recorded.
Yes, it is live recorded.
That's all that matters.
But for all y'all technicalities, it's not live.
Oh well. So,
But
we're getting down to the playoffs.
the last week.
This is the last regular season week. Playoffs are next week.
And we'll be marking off teams that, well, let's just say they suck, so they couldn't make it.
Pretty much. Let's go ahead and get started. This is a little bit normal week since we don't have a Thursday and Friday or a Monday night game. So we'll start off with the Panthers at the Falcons.
Or a Tuesday night game. How about that game?
Or a Tuesday night game.
Really? Who we got on this one? Who's his first game?
So I said the Panthers at the Falcons.
Okay. Panthers, they're not making the cut for the playoffs. This will be their final game for the season.
We'll see you next season.
Yeah, hopefully you're better. I'm picking the Falcons.
Taking the Falcons.
You know good and well I am.
Falcons were upset by the Saints last week, but I said the Falcons will pull it off. I mean, with the Panthers, their 2 wins were basically miracle wins that nobody called, but I don't think that'll happen.
Well, you did call one of them.
I did call the second one.
But they're not going to beat the Falcons this week. They're at Atlanta. I mean, of course they were at Atlanta last week and they lost. But okay, never mind. Falcons win this. Steelers at the Browns.
The Browns. You really had to think about this? Not really, not in my opinion. I'm going to go with the Steelers right here all the way.
The Browns have had a couple good wins, especially the one against the Patriots, but I don't think, with it being the last game of the season, going into the playoffs, that the Steelers are going to let them have this one. I'm pretty sure they'll take it from them.
Yeah, they're unpredictable Browns for a reason, but they're not going to be unpredictable here. The Steelers are going to win. All right, we got the Vikings at the Lions.
Vikings coming off that humongous win.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Brett Favre gets knocked out a game and then they actually win one. Yeah. Am I correct? This is his second concussion and he's out for the season?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, he just needs to stay home, really. But the Lions have won the last few of their games, and I'm going to shoot it and go with the Lions on this one. I think the Lions can take it.
I'm going to go with the Lions, too. They're at home. They've had a couple decent games here lately. The Vikings, I mean, their season has been up and down. And true, they come off a great win last week, but I say this is where they go down, and they're going to have a down week this week.
Well, both of these teams are not going to the playoffs, so it's just going to be a fight to get either a 7th or a 6th win. But I'm going to go Vikings here. That big win against Philly, I liked how they played a little in that game. But I think the Vikings win this one.
Well, in that game, too, though, Vic wasn't even Vic.
Okay.
That was one of the worst games Vic ever played in his
career-wise.
Even before dogfighting.
Dogfighting.
I heard a kid gave him a puppy for Christmas.
They had a thing on Sports Nation where they had a poll. Do you think that Michael Vick could have a dog or not?
If he knows what he's doing with it. But let's get back to subject.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have a big AFC clash: Raiders at the Chiefs.
The Raiders are missing a pile of people this week, and I don't think they're going to beat the Chiefs. Even though Hassel's still gone, Chiefs will still show me some good potential.
Castle's playing.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
Since when?
You know, I always take and pick an upset some week, and I'm going to pick this one as the upset. I say Raiders upset the Chiefs. I'm just saying, I mean...
Well, FoxSports.com, go to H... Can I say hell?
Go ahead.
No, I'm not. I'm going to be nice about it. They said Castle was out. Really, out.
He played all the last game and destroyed... Who were they playing again? Exactly. Well, they clinched the playoffs last week. So
it's kind of hard to watch a Chiefs game when you only get selected games.
Yeah.
Unless you're DirecTV and...
You get that Sunday ticket, which I think,
It's great.
ESPN maybe should pick up a game or two. ESPN 3,
But ESPN don't even do nothing anymore.
Well, yeah, that's true. So
except for the Monday night game.
you're going with the Chiefs. You're going with the Raiders. I'm going Chiefs. Chiefs will go in the playoffs. First time since 2003.
Yep.
We'll be the number 3 seed in the AFC, and we're going to go for a win here. Dolphins at the Patriots.
How can you pick against the Patriots? They have the best record in the NFL right now, so you really can't pick against them.
They wouldn't have the best record in the NFL if it weren't for the Saints.
They would be tied for the best record.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Epic failures. Epic fail. And everybody's going with the Patriots.
Yeah, we're all going. It's the Dolphins.
You said Dolphins? Okay.
No,
Okay, Dolphins.
it's the Patriots. Come on. Buccaneers at the Saints.
Saints are at home. Bucks have really, since the beginning of the season, after a few wins they had, they've just fizzled out. They're not as good as they were. They were playoff potential, and then they just lost it. So I'm going with the Saints here.
The Bucks did play a tough game against the Falcons, the first game that both teams played against each other. The Saints beat the Falcons last week, where everybody basically picked the Falcons. The Saints started off the season pretty slow. You look at them as the post-Super Bowl team of every year because they stunk at the beginning of the season, letting the Falcons beat them at home. But I say they have the potential to go into the playoffs. I'm just not predicting them for a Super Bowl win because, like I said, they're that post-Super Bowl team. But I still say Saints beat the Bucks because the Bucks were a good team, like you said, no, at the beginning of the season. They were great, but after they played the Falcons the first time, it was basically what happened.
This is the only game I really had trouble picking. I wanted to pick the Buccaneers, then I remembered last week they lost to the Lions. So I had to get Saints here. So that's that game. We have the Bills at the Jets.
Bills are missing a couple people, I think, this week, and I don't think they're going. They ain't got the potential to beat the Jets. I don't think, even though there's been a couple losses that the Jets has took. That's been wow.
And they had some wow wins.
Yeah, and then they had where did they come from?
So you're going Jets?
Yes, I am.
I'm going to go Jets.
You're going to go Jets.
I'm going to go Jets too. It's in the Bills. They look better at the end of the year, but they're not going to beat the Jets. Bengals at the Ravens.
I guess Robert's picking the Bengals this week. Ben's undoubtedly won every time.
No, this week I'm going to go with the Ravens. The Ravens still have Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is basically the leader of that team, even though he isn't even a quarterback. But the Ravens are going to make the playoffs, and I say that this is just a momentum builder for that team going into the playoffs. They're going to beat the Bengals.
Okay, I'm picking the Ravens also.
And the Ravens, the defense is better than the Chargers last week.
Yeah.
And the defense is going to control the Bengals better. Chargers at the Broncos. Another AFC matchup here.
Didn't the Broncos win last week?
They
Yes,
did
they
win
did.
last week.
I really had to think about it. I think the Broncos could beat the Chargers just because I didn't say they were. I'm picking them.
No.
Yeah, well, I saw you. Y'all both.
No, I was right now.
It was just like that.
Right now.
No, Bronco. Yes, I do. Yes, with you.
Continue your pick.
Okay. Broncos. I've lost the whole train of thought. I'm picking the Chargers though, but the Broncos. Ever since Tebow took back over, I do not like Tebow very much.
He had his first career start last week. Just to point it out there.
He did not.
Yeah,
The first of the season, he already took the field one time. He had a touchdown at the first of the season.
He took the field one time.
Yeah.
Wasn't a start.
Oh,
He
well.
came into the game. Last week was his first career start.
Oh, well, I ain't
And full game.
basing it on that.
If Tebow starts this week, he will be 1-1 overall as a starting quarterback because the Broncos are not going to beat the Chargers. The Chargers are going to beat them. And that's it.
Okay.
That's the way it is. Chargers are going to win here. Broncos
Yeah.
might surprise us like they did last week against the Texans, but I think the Chargers are going to come off that loss wanting a win. Bears at the Packers.
How can you pick against the Bears defense?
The Bears. Everybody likes the Bears. And they're going to go to Mr. Rogers' neighborhood in Lambeau and beat them. So I'm going with the Bears.
You know, with it being at Lambeau, I thought that Aaron Rodgers could lead his team to victory, but like I said, Bears defense That's all I got to say.
I'm waiting to hear what you got to say.
I guess I'm going to be playing devil's advocate here because I'm picking the Packers.
Really?
Had 2 straight weeks had good games. One without Aaron Rodgers, and they almost beat the Patriots. And then they killed whoever they played last week. I don't remember. I think they're going to take me in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood and take the Bears to their town.
That was the Giants, if I'm right.
That was the Giants, yes. And the Giants have not looked good in the past 2 weeks. This is the Patriots.
They have squeaked.
They have squeaked. Alright, so I'm picking the Packers here. Titans at the Colts.
Titans, they lost Vince Young, but they have showed potential without him, but I'm still going with the shotgun and the Colts.
I'm going to go with the Colts, too. The Titans really haven't showed me the team that they started off to be at the beginning of the season. So, I got to go with the Colts. They know how to get it done at the moment they need to get it done. Here it is the last week. I say they go out with a win and make it 10-6.
Well, the Colts need to win here to get to the playoffs.
If they do not win.
If they do not win, Jacksonville wins. Jacksonville gets in the playoffs. But if they lose and Jacksonville lose, they still get in the playoffs. So
It's weird.
It's really the Colts need a win, and I think they're going to get a win. They're at home. They're usually better at home, but most teams are better at home, so the Colts are going to win here.
Oh, yeah. Next up.
Cowboys at the Eagles.
Eagles coming off a tough loss. Vic's one of his worst games in his career. They're going to come back fired up. Eagles are going to take this with ease. Cowboys, ever since they got rid of their head coach in Romo,
They look better.
Yes, they look way better. They took the skirts off and put the big boots on and the guns in the waist, and they went to war.
Don't expect anything less than a rivalry. That the Cowboys and the Eagles have always been a big NFL rivalry, and that I say it's going to be the same thing this weekend. I won't say it's going to be a blowout, but I will say it's going to be just more than a close game. But I'm going to pick the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with y'all. The Eagles, they kind of screwed up. They didn't really look good last Tuesday night. A Tuesday night game. Still don't get that, but I think they're going to beat the Cowboys. They're going to come back and get a win going into the playoffs. Cardinals at the 49ers.
This was a tough one to pick.
500 teams. Actually, no, it was not. Cardinals is missing their quarterback this week. If I'm correct.
I don't know.
I don't care about
I don't care about them.
I don't either. I'm going with the 49ers. 49ers have beat a couple teams and been close to. They came close to beating. What? Weren't it? They came close to beating the Falcons one time?
I think so. I don't remember.
And there was one other one. Oh, well. I'm picking the 49ers. I'm done with it.
I'm going to pick the 49ers, too. There was a big blow-up with the head coach and one of the players this past week during last Sunday's game.
Yep.
But I say it's all going to be over with, and that they're going to come into the last week wanting to end their season with a win, and that the Cardinals really haven't been the team that they were back when Kurt Warner led them to the Super Bowl.
And
Yes.
lost.
Yep.
But they're still Super Bowl.
They almost beat the Steelers,
Yeah.
though.
I'm going 49ers here too. They got a new head coach. New head coach is wanting a win, going out, and then having to get on a good foot for the next season. But I think the 49ers beat the Cardinals.
You know the good part about Kurt Warner? Am I correct? Yes. He knew when to quit. Brett Favre was just there for the money. I think that's all he's there for. He could care less if he wins or loses.
All right, next up we have the Giants at the Redskins.
Well, I'm going to let you pick on this one first.
I went ahead and picked the Giants. The Giants haven't been that great of a team here lately. They lost to the Packers last week. The Redskins haven't been that great of a team either. They've been a little less. They're ended up very short of the expectations that everybody give them. With McNabb and Coach Shanahan coming in, both of their first seasons with the Redskins. But as it's already been said that McNabb is going to be released or has asked to be released by the Redskins at the end of the season because they are not going to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And that I say
weren't
that
McNabb benched this year?
Coach was benched last week.
Lord of mercy. He is really... How do you let Vic come in there and take your spot? Then you get kicked to the Redskins.
I say that Coach Coughlin and that is quarterback Eli Manning, they're going to pull it out.
Really? Who do you pick on this one?
I had to go against the Giants. The 2 weeks of losing, I'm picking the Redskins here just because Redskins going to maybe get a good win here at the end of the season.
That's something to think about. I can't disagree with that, but I'm still going with the Giants.
That's right, because they're going to try getting that win at the end of the season.
Yep.
All right, next up we have the Jaguars at the Texans. Last time these two teams played, the Jaguars got a Hail Mary to win the game at the end of the game.
I know. And if the Jags had that much potential in the last couple seconds to win, Lord of mercy, Jaguars are going to win.
The Jags need a win this week. They need a win and the Colts loss
That is another reason.
to get in the playoffs. And I say the Jags will pull it off. I mean, it's the Texans. True, it was a miracle win in the last 3 seconds of the game, their first game in the 2-game series this year, when Gerard threw a pass that
Got tipped and
was tipped by a defender and somehow
oh, look, a ball.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
But
Hey, look what I
either
saw.
way, the Jags won that game, and I say they're going to win this one. But I say it's not a miracle win.
Nah. I'm going Jaguars too. The Texans started out the season 3-1, if I'm not mistaken.
Beating the Colts the first game of the
Beating
season.
the Colts,
Yes.
And then
Everybody was like, dang, they got potential.
They went 3-1, and then they went 2-9 the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So I think the Jaguars are going to get a win here, and hope for a Colts loss.
Who do you have, Noel?
I done said the Jaguars.
All right. Well, next up we have the Rams at the Seahawks, our Sunday night game.
And you got to pick one of them. I'll give you a little more information about this game. The winner goes to the playoffs.
That's another thing. If I recall, I'm looking down there, and John picked the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
I actually really thought about the Seahawks. Seahawks, their potential is mediocre. It's not something to look at really. But the Rams, out of nowhere, you can always see them get this humongous win that they need, and I'm picking the Rams.
You know, both of you picked the Rams, and this is the only one that I couldn't pick because you don't really know which team was going to get in. And that I wanted to say Seahawks because I like to see them get in because they've had a miserable season to my mind. And when they've been a good team here in the past few years, the Rams haven't been that great of a team since they won the Super Bowl against the Titans.
2000.
Good Lord, how long that was.
I think 1999, 2000, 2001, something like that.
Yeah, it was like a decade ago. But I'm gonna pick with y'all and say the Rams.
Yeah, I'm going Rams too. We've got two teams. You got one team with a rookie quarterback and one team with a rookie head coach, who's really turned the Seahawks season since from last year to this year. They better, but I think the rookie quarterback's going to win this battle, and the Rams get in.
There was one thing that they were talking about on ESPN this week. Look at the NFC West. Look at all the records they have. It's like, really? Crap. Just straight up crap. And the Rams are sitting at, what, number 1 right now? Must-need win?
Well, if you look at it, if the Seahawks win, they'll be in the playoffs with a sub-500 record. And that if the Rams win and get in the playoffs, they'll be a 500 team.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Happy New Year. Happy New Year's on Saturday. New Year's is Saturday. What do they call it? You got to eat your, well,
I don't know.
let's leave that out.
We'll see you for week 1 of the playoffs next week.